Nigeria, What is Coming, Part 2. While we prayed for Nigeria, for God's will to be done, and for what is coming, I saw two trolls on one side of a huge wall. This side of the wall represented evil. I heard that these trolls were politics and religion. On the other side of the wall, the side that was supposed to represent good, stood a giant lady and President Buhari, also as a giant, dressed in a sky blue regalia. They represented the church and the government respectively. The beings on both sides of the wall were pushing the wall from their own side. The trolls were pushing against the lady and the president, and vice versa. It determined if God's will was being done or if Satan would have his way. I saw that the trolls were winning. The reason why the trolls were winning was that the lady on the other side of the wall was using her left hand to fight the president, that is the government, while using her right hand to push the wall. So she was distracting the president from pushing, while on her part, she was only pushing the wall slightly. The president did not seem to be affected much, like he was being protected. I saw that after a while, the wounds she was inflicting on the president suddenly appeared all over her body. She had severe injuries and became weak. Let me take a moment to describe the trolls. They looked alike, like they, politics and religion, were twins. It would make sense because, as the case has mostly been, religion has become like politics. The only thing differentiating the two trolls was their color. Politics had a bland, dark color, but religion had two colors. From its head to about somewhere in the chest region, making up about a third of its body, was black. This represented Islam. The rest of the body was blood red, Christianity. The line of demarcation between these two colors wasn't a straight horizontal line. It was diagonal. I saw that the Lord Jesus was standing from afar and watching this. I saw him send children, infants, toddlers, and children around the ages of 4 to 5 years, to the rescue. The children ignored what was going on and just went on to do their job. They were tiny compared to the wall and would never be tall enough to be able to push it. What did they do? They climbed on top of each other and fused with each other at different points, like Lego bricks, till they formed a giant. Then they were pushing back the trolls effectively and with ease. I had the impression that they were majorly representing intercessors, those who will push back the forces of darkness by staying in the face of God and being advocates for the country. The idea, too, was that they would be people and things that would be easily ignored and remain unrecognizable because of their size, seemingly negligible influence. After a while, the president morphed into another person. This represented a change in government. The person he morphed into was a younger man. Say he was in his 40s. He was slightly chubby and had a red cap with a feather on, just like an Igbo man. He had a black senator attire on. I remembered the word we had in 2018, I think, about a bird of prey coming from the east. One thing about this fellow was that he was a shock to everyone. Seemed like the least expected. As I type this, I keep hearing the name Chukwumerije. He was initially a giant like President Buhari, but he suddenly shrunk in size and became a little bigger than a normal man. Then, I saw those little children form themselves into something like a raised platform under his feet and elevated him. He was standing on them, and he was therefore elevated back to the status of a giant. He, however, did not know any of this was happening. I saw a business tycoon, Cosmos Madoka, come to his aid. He was a giant and was wearing a white shirt on a pair of dark blue trousers. I think he had a dark blue tie on as well. He, with the Igbo man and the injured lady, somehow the lady seemed to be in agreement with this president. They joined their strengths together and pushed the wall over on the trolls. The wall fell on the trolls and crushed them. Then the three obvious victors, the children were a part of it, but everyone seemed to be oblivious of them, started jumping in celebration on top of the fallen wall. One challenge that Cosmos Maduka faced was that people began to attack him, saying that the only reason he was supporting this president was because they were from the same tribe. He was tagged a tribalistic person. After this victory, he was out of the scene. Then I saw this young president begin to attack the church, the lady, and I think he killed her, or he at least devastated her thoroughly. It felt like judgment on the lady for all she did to the previous president. However, God wasn't too happy with what this young president did, and he was judged as well. He was suddenly taken away. I think it would manifest in his tenure being cut short. It was more like a Nebuchadnezzar kind judgment. It felt he forgot that he did not ascend to the throne by his own power and became proud, thinking he could do as he pleased. After this man was taken away, I saw two giants appear. They were fighting sorely over who would take the place of the Igbo fellow. I think I remember one of the giants being from the north and the other from the west. While they fought, they were standing on the map of Nigeria, which was all white now. Their war grossly affected the country. There was this state of unrest, almost like anarchy, that was really devastating. While all this was happening, the Lord Jesus was just standing at the same place he had commissioned the children from. You could see love and concern on his face, but it seemed he could do nothing about it. The children had to do what he had sent them to do. Then, I saw that not far from where the giants were fighting, in the background, a new lady was being formed. The children were building her. As they were building her, they were also garnishing her with beautiful flowers and ornaments. She was very beautiful compared to the first lady that was destroyed by the young president. It seemed she not only represented the church, but the country. She was the one who now took the Igbo man's place. But her rule did not last. It failed after a short while. Then she was taken back to the background again. It felt like God allowed her to rule for a short while and fail, to teach the church that it was not called to be involved in civil matters in the way it thinks it should be. She was to exert her influence from the background. I think the bottom line emphasis of the vision is the role of intercessors in preserving the nation. Men must pray. I would also think that there is some literal sense to the picture of the children being extremely important stones in winning this war. 12th of April, 2021. Brother S.E. Copyright, Game Watchman.